regarding some recruitments that happened after the NDC came into office. And somebody went to the Supreme Court to try and get the court to intervene and determine that that action of the Chief of Staff was unconstitutional, it was wrong, it was a violation of the rights of those individuals. Then the minority leader brought a motion to this House, urging this House to take some decisions regarding the action of the Chief of Staff. So I raised an objection on the grounds that because someone has already gone to court to vindicate the rights of the people who were dismissed, it will amount to interference in the work of the courts for this Parliament to also go into that matter. This Parliament was asked to act in a matter that was quasi-judicial. Quasi-judicial. Once a judicial process was already underway. And so I said, you will be interfering in the work of the courts if they have started a judicial process of determining the rights or otherwise of those dismissed. Then you also come to this Parliament and say we should also start another process of determining the rights or otherwise of the same people. That will interfere in the work of the judiciary, because their main responsibility constitutionally is to vindicate rights. We primarily are to enact legislation, hold the executive accountable, and sometimes hold the judiciary also accountable. So our position is secondary to that of the judiciary in this matter. That was the context, and that is how the Speaker concluded that I was right in that instance, and therefore your motion should not be admitted. Now let's come to this present instance about the Appointments Committee. In this instance, you are saying that a referral that has been made by the Speaker to a committee of this House to exercise a function that constitutionally is within the province of that a nomination which the Speaker has accepted and which he has referred to a committee for the committee to process. And I once again drew your attention to the fact that the same Supreme Court has said that in matters that are primarily the responsibility of Parliament, once Parliament starts dealing with those matters, no one anywhere can stop Parliament from dealing with those matters until Parliament has completed the process of dealing with that matter. You understand? The Supreme Court has said that severally, and he just cited two cases in which members of this House have gone to the Supreme Court to try and get the Supreme Court to order this House to stop considering matters that the House was considering on the grounds that they felt it was unconstitutional. constitutional for Parliament minority leader. Reference to the Constitution, to Eskin May, to all those things don't really make a difference. The matter is so simple and so basic. The Supreme Court of Ghana has said that when this Parliament is engaged in its primary responsibility, it will always allow this Parliament to go through that process to the end. And then, if the outcome is wrong or goes against a specific provision of the Constitution, then they, at that point, can make that determination. But once they are seized with jurisdiction and they are dealing with the matter, they will not interfere. I haven't seen a ruling changing this position of the Supreme Court. So, as for ECOWAS, yes, even ECOWAS court will always tell you that you should have fully exhausted local remedies before you come to the ECOWAS court. So if you are already in the courts of Ghana trying to vindicate your rights, you haven't finished in Ghana, then you jump to Abuja. You jump to Abuja when you have not yet exhausted local remedies. I'll be surprised if ECOWAS court delves into your matter. I'm saying this because I have been a member of ECOWAS Parliament for close to a decade, and I know how that court functions. I know how that court functions. So I can assure you, without making any pronouncements now, that the principle at the ECOWAS court is that you must have exhausted local remedies before you go to ECOWAS court. Mr. Speaker, I plead with my colleagues. I know that the circumstances surrounding the removal of the former Chief Justice is a matter that especially my brother, the minority leader, has fought. He has embarked on street marches. In the process, some policemen even allege that he became physical against them. I can understand. I can understand that this is a matter that he is personally very passionate about.
Majority Leader, conclude. But
the Constitution is very clear on these matters. The nomination of the Chief Justice is properly before this House. It has been referred to the committee, and the committee will sit on Monday. I urge him to appear before the committee as a member. You can ask all your questions. The Chief Justice nominee is ready and available and willing to answer all questions put to him, and very, very capable. If at the end of the day, there is any decision by any court in this country, I'm sure the court will find a way of crafting a mechanism for enforcing their decision. The court will find a mechanism for crafting the enforcement of their decision. Mr. Speaker, the court, after we have completed our work in this House, have been able to strike down the conclusion of the work of this House. In that ruling led by Justice Yoni Kulondi, they annulled what we did in this house. So please, allow the system to work. Allow the system to work. So, honorable colleagues, I have presented to you the business statement for next week. The minority leader is a member of the business committee. The minority chief whip is also a member of the business committee. And so this business that we have presented to you is business that we agreed together as the business of the house for next week. And we urge you to approve it so that we can move on. As for the referral to the committee, that was done some time ago. It was not really part of the records of the business statement of this sitting. It wasn't. It is an old referral. What we did is to attach records of the old referrals to remind members that those referrals are still pending before them. But it is not a matter for decision today. The work of these committees are not matters for decision today. It is just to remind members that these assignments are pending before them. So the question of the appointments committee and what they are to do on Monday is not for decision today. It is a matter already referred by the speaker to them. So if you are going to challenge the decision of the speaker on that matter, you know the procedure to use. You know the procedure for challenging a decision that has been taken. So the speaker has already taken a decision referring the nomination to the appointments committee. All we are doing is to remind all committees that businesses are pending before them, that they should endeavor to accomplish those businesses and bring their reports to us for decision. So you cannot get up and, like somebody did in secondary school exams, where the question was, what is a tree? Then he says, oh, a tree has branches. Sometimes birds perch on the trees, and one may ask, what is a bird? And then went on a tangent of explaining and describing a bird because that is what he had prepared for in the exams. I am saying this because I know as a fact that he had filed a motion seeking to challenge the authority of this house to have the nominee considered by the appointments committee. He filed the motion. He raised it at conclave, and I reminded him that you cannot stop this parliament from conducting its lawful business. I reminded him, and he told me, listen carefully, please listen carefully. He told me that he had prepared to argue that motion, and that even if I wanted, he will give me copies of his arguments that he would prefer. That is why I'm saying that he had prepared on an examination about a bird. He had prepared to argue. He had prepared to argue a motion. He had prepared to, please listen. He had prepared to argue a motion. He had prepared to argue a motion on the constitutionality of this house, considering the nomination of the Chief Justice. So even though that motion is not properly before this house, and what is before this house is the business statement for the ensuing week, he decided to argue his motion.
Honorable Majority Leader, conclude. Kindly conclude.
So, Mr. Speaker, I think that the issues that he has raised are not properly before us. There's no issue about the sitting of the appointments committee. That is a matter decided already by this House. What is before you is the business statement so that we can schedule activities for next week. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Honorable members, with all due respect, the minority leader in raising the issue indicated that he's not calling on the speaker to make a ruling. So if there is an issue raised which the speaker is not called upon to make a ruling, do we open it up for debate? Honourable members, with all due respect, he came out clearly to state that he's raising the issue but not calling on me to make a ruling. So we cannot therefore open this for a debate, with all due respect. So minority leader, I will give you the floor. If you have something to say, then we may progress. But I don't intend to open this up for debate, because I am not being called upon to make a ruling. Our members, procedurally, if minority leader raise an issue and is not calling for a ruling, why do we debate this matter? So please, minority leader, I appeal with you to be brief.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, first, perhaps my two colleagues who were up on their feet, what they sought to do was to seek your leave to contribute to the business statement. Mr. Speaker, the subject matter of this whole discourse is a business statement.
Yes.
So, respectfully, I believe that, yes, I would come in to respond to the issues that I disagree with. Mr. Speaker, you made some fundamental point, but the
so,
members,
Honorable Minority Leader,
yes, Mr. Speaker, yes,
with all due respect
yes,
to you,
yes,
if you intend to respond to what he is saying, before I could open the floor to take comment on the business statement, it will be fair and just that we conclude the issue that you have raised. Then I can give them the floor to comment on the business statement.
Mr. Speaker, if that Mr. Speaker, let me finish.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Let me hear Majority Leader.
Let me hear Majority
Leader. Before you
Leader.
come back?
Yes, don't worry.
Mr. Speaker, we all know the practices of this House. When the business statement is read, we start with comments from backbenchers.
That is so, I agree.
To the seniors. And then we end with the leaders. So, no one, unless there's something earth-shattering, no one after the minority leader has commented
in
on
fact,
business
without
statement.
cutting you short, I have the privilege of discussing this with some leaders from the minority side, that it is not always fair and just that we wait and give opportunity for our leaders after the leaders speaking. Then the back will want to have the opportunity to again speak. It is not a good practice. It doesn't sound well. So the leaders, I plead with you, anytime you want to speak, look at your back. Because once you have the floor, I think I even raised this on the floor of this house, that it is always good to look at your back. Because a leader must speak last. A chief must speak last. Yes, Honorable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm guided by the fact that our leaders have spoken on this matter. and it is the business statement that the House need to take a decision to either adopt, either the majority leader will make amends to it. That is what is stated in our standing orders in Order 71. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to something. As much as we are gearing towards taking, the decision on the business statement, I want to refer you to the Constitution in Article 104. And Article 104 of the 1992 Constitution states, and I read, Mr. Speaker, 1, that except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of all members of Parliament present and voting, with at least half of the members of Parliament present. Mr. Speaker, for us to adopt this business statement, we are going to take a decision. And to take that decision means we need 138 members of Parliament present to do that. And we don't have. At the moment, we are 108 in this chamber. So for that matter, Mr. Speaker, we cannot adopt the business statement. Mr. Speaker, we cannot adopt the business statement at the moment. We cannot take that decision. We don't have 138 members. Mr. Speaker, to determine Mr. Speaker, we don't have 138 members present at the moment to take a decision or determine for the approval of the business statement. And for that matter, Mr. Speaker, I invite you to apply the provisions in the Constitution in Article 104 that we don't have 138 members to adopt the business statement. And Mr. Speaker, the majority side, there are only 77.
Honorable Habib.
The majority side, there are 177 and we are 35.
Honorable Habib.
We cannot take that decision
Honorable
in
Habib.
the approval of the business
Honorable
statement
Habib.
because we don't.
I think your application is premature. We haven't got to a stage of taking decision. Minority leader has raised an issue. Minority leader has raised an issue. And it is the issue raised by minority leader that we are considering. Yes, majority leader. Yes, majority leader.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the Honorable Habib was on his feet, he made reference to Order 71 and indicated that a decision is to be taken. And that is the basis on which he is raising the question of decision quorum. I rose up because he specifically mentioned Order 71. And before he went to the constitutional provision, he mentioned Order 71, then now raised the constitutional issues. So I think that we should read Order 71. Order 71 says, business statement. 1. Every Friday, the chairperson of the business committee shall present to the House a statement on the business arranged for the following week. Present to the House a statement on the business arranged for the following week. Where the first sitting of a meeting precedes a Friday, the statement on the business arranged for the remainder of the week, where possible, shall be presented on the day of the commencement of the meeting. And finally, 3 says, the chairperson of the business committee may present supplementary statements as determined by the committee. Mr. Speaker, A statement, not a report to be adopted by this House. A statement. A statement. I want you to read your standing orders properly and understand it properly. The order says the chairperson should give you a statement. The same way, give me your, no. The same way that statements are made in our standing orders. Which statement has ever been made in this House that has had to be adopted by this House? Which statement? It shows that we have been doing the wrong thing. We have been doing the wrong thing. Mr. Speaker, I'm very serious. I'm very serious. We have been doing the wrong thing. Because I am reading Order 71, and it says every Friday the chairperson of the business committee shall present to the House a statement on the business arranged for the following week. A statement. There's nothing there that says that you should adopt it or a decision. What you do is that if I present the statement and then in your commentary on the statement, there is additional business that should be conducted by the House, then I make supplementary statements. And those supplementary statements then also provide notice of the other businesses that may be done in addition. A business statement is just a notice to you of what the agenda of the House is going to be. Mr. Speaker, so I don't think that there's no basis for raising an issue of constitutionality. There is no basis because, you see, there is a business committee. When the business committee meets, they are regulated by the provisions relating to committee work, which means that they have to adopt the outcome of their work. But when I come here as chairperson of that committee, I am not presenting a report that should be adopted by this House. I am making a statement outlining the agenda of this House for the subsequent week. That is the position. And Mr. Speaker, I invite you to look at Order 71-1 and what it actually means. I know all the time when the statement is made, members get up and then they raise issues that they think should be included, and then the leader would say, oh yeah, okay, we'll add that, and etc. That is in the nature of the supplementary statement. In the end, the speaker will usually say, oh, the statement is hereby adopted or put it to us, and that kind of thing. I'm saying that, strictly speaking, a statement is not a matter that should be adopted and accepted. It is a statement.
Honorable member, conclude. Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, when I raised my issue, the majority leader, I need your attention, who says that the order that I stated was wrong. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the standing orders, and on the front bench, this is my 5th year on the front bench, and I know my rules well. Read Order 101, Mr. Speaker, and I read A. Order 101A, Mr. Speaker said, a motion shall, notice shall be given of a motion intended to be moved, except a motion number 1A, for the adoption of the report of the business committee. It's in the form of a motion. It's in the form of a motion. Yes, it's a motion that needs to be adopted. It's a motion that needs to be adopted. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, order.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker. Mr.
Honorable
Speaker.
Deputy Whip.
Mr. Speaker, I read again.
Honorable Deputy Minority Whip. With all due respect, in adopting the business statement, do we put a question?
Mr. Speaker, I am drawing his attention that, Mr. Speaker, in Standing Order 101 reads that notice shall be given of a motion intended to be moved, except a motion A for the adoption of the report of the business committee. Mr. Speaker, how do you adopt a report in the parliamentary procedure?
Well, you indicated
a report to the House.
Honorable Habib,
to be adopted.
Honorable Habib, you have indicated you've been a member of parliament at the front bench for 5 years. So, with the 5 years experience, do we adopt a business statement by putting a question?
Yes.
Yes, Minority Leader, you want to help us whether a business statement is adopted by putting a question? Yes, Minority Leader, let me hear you.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker,
before you come in, permit me to acknowledge the presence of some students in our midst.
Very well.
We have a student from Regional Maritime University, led by Ochre Nana Kwesi Ba, head of the Student Representative Council. They are from Kroa constituency, they numbered 40. We also have Kingdom Heirs Montessori, led by Joseph Ama. He is a facilitator. They are from Botiano, Englishi, Amanfro. They numbered 82. Honorable members, on your behalf, I welcome all of them to Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. May you have a fruitful visit to Parliament. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I am on my feet on two issues. First, Mr. Speaker, our side have a concern, and it's a concern that is very collective. We have noticed that in many instances, when we are contributing, you interject with a lot of questions. However, the majority leader and his colleagues on the front bench, as well as the majority members, are allowed to flow. Mr. Speaker, we would plead with you that as much as possible, much as you give them the unfettered opportunity to make their submissions, please allow us also, because many times you interject with rhetorical questions, and sometimes we read sarcasm in it. Unfortunately, sometimes we do, because if a member makes a submission, Mr. Speaker, the member, when Mr. Speaker, for the first time, I will take issue with the majority leader. Sometimes when we are all arguing and he disagrees, he has a way he uses a language so offensive, but I have decided to always.
I thought you were addressing me.
I am not worried. I am never.
Minority Leader, I thought you were talking about.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I need to finish respectfully. He uses certain language. The matter you refer to, he came to say his argument at the dispatch box was with the fact that the business statement is a statement and not a report. He went further to say that for that matter, it doesn't need any numbers constitutionally provided to adopt it. And that's whatever we've been doing is wrong. The respected member for Tolon got up to remind him of Order 101A, which says that there are motions that require notice, and the business statement is one of the motions that no notice is required, and it has to be adopted. Let us pay attention to the language of our own regulation. It talks about adoption. How do we adopt reports in this house? How do we adopt reports in this house? Any report that is adopted must meet the threshold constitutionally provided. So he was on a firm grounds when he said that to adopt the business statement, we need a minimum of 138. He went further to say that at the time he was arguing, the majority had only 77 of their 189. That is a statement is made on record. And even now, as we count, you are now 82. We are still counting you. Yes. Yes. So after your super majority, exists merely enormous. Today, we are using soft and substance to challenge you. We are facing you with substance. We are not facing you with numbers. We know when it comes to numbers, you have it. That is why we have enriched our argument by doing research. That is why the member for Tolon is able to remind the majority leader that indeed he didn't make the application lamely. He didn't bring a lame application. Mr. Speaker, let us even pay attention to paragraph 1 of the business statement. Quote, Mr. Speaker, the committee met yesterday, Thursday, 6 November 2025, and arranged the business of the House for the 4th week ending 14 November 2025. Mr. Speaker, the committee accordingly submits its report as follows. Mr. Speaker, though the language statement is used, but the content of that document is a report. He is the chairman of the committee. Let's look at Order 216. The business committee comprises of the leader of government business and a chairperson, the leader of the party or parties in parliament who do not form the government as a ranking, chief whip, and no more than 11 other members. Mr. Speaker, it goes on to talk about its proposed sitting and recommendations. Whatever the business committee does, it presents to the House in the form of a report. And 101A provides, and I quote again for the avoidance of doubt, at the risk of being repetitive, it says that notice shall be given of a motion intended to move except a motion for the adoption of the report of the business committee. Let's read them together. This provision and the first paragraph of your own report, the conclusion, and let's be very conjunctive. You cannot read them in isolation.
So, Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker,
reading all the provisions in totality.
Yes, sir.
My question is not being sarcastic.
Mr.
It
Speaker,
can lead us to resolve the matter ourselves, and that is the best approach.
Mr. Speaker,
That is why my question is simple. How do we adopt a business committee's report or
Mr.
a
Speaker,
business statement?
Mr. Speaker, the procedure for adopting a report in this chamber has always been by taking a vote. A vote, if it is challenged.
Leader,
yes.
You've been in this house for a very long time.
Yes.
Can you mention one instance where we adopted a business committee's report by a vote?
Mr. Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, with respect. How do we adopt reports in this house? How do we? He, the majority leader, said, if in the past we didn't use a certain procedure, then it is wrong. That was he said. He said we have adopted a wrong procedure. That's what he said.
I do not think we should set a very bad precedent
Mr. Speaker,
by
we're not setting a
adopting
bad precedent.
a business
They
committee
need 138. They should bring their members.
statement
They say they
by
have
way
majority.
of a vote.
Bring your 138 and approve your
Would have been
the business
serving a very bad precedent for this house. It has never happened before. I came here in 2013 in ruling government. It has never happened. I was in opposition. For 8 years, it has never happened.
Page 2. At page 2 says business statement. If it is a report, this other paper would have said a report to be adopted by a motion.
All members, minority leader first. Minority leader first. Minority leader first.
Mr. Speaker.
Members, I'm watching and the cameras are also watching. Yes, minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, the majority leader cannot get away with what he just said. Mr. Speaker, the rules of this house defines what the business statement is. It defines the business statement as a report and a motion. That is what the rule says. It is not me. It is not me who says that. It is the rules enacted by us. Mr. Speaker, the hierarchy of laws is an order paper Is an order paper a rule? Mr. Speaker, when there is any conflict, the rule takes precedence. The law would always take precedence over any other thing. Where the law has provided in explicit terms that, Mr. Speaker, the business statement should come by way of a motion which does not require notice and it has to be adopted, the majority leader is urging upon this house to take it as a mere statement. Mr. Speaker, all that they are doing is to play games, filibuster, to increase their 82 to a comfortable number. We will not allow you. You are 82, Mr. Speaker. You must determine the constitutional issue. We don't have 138. You cannot use this to invite your members in. You are now 74. We will not allow you to use delay tactics to invite your members to come in. Mr. Speaker, we are not up to 138. If Mr. Speaker wants to make a ruling on this matter, Mr. Speaker should make the ruling and posterity will judge this house.
Yes, on this note, I'm being called upon to make a ruling. Let me hear Honorable Ahmed.
If you don't want to go by the rules and the constitution,
yes, I will make my rulings.
Mr. Speaker,
I will make my rulings.
Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Yes. Let me conclude with respect.
Okay, I thought you concluded and calling on me to make a ruling.
The majority leader cannot choose his convenience. When it pleases him, he says constitution. When it pleases him, he says now his authority is order paper. He doesn't depend on constitution and the rules book. We challenge him with order 101A. He has not commented on it. He doesn't want to respond to it. All he says is order paper. Mr. Speaker, a constitutional issue has been raised.
Honorable,
you have to rule on it.
Honorable,
we are not 138.
Honorable Minority Leader, are you done? I will proceed to give the floor to Honorable Ahmed Banda, Minister for Local Government. You have the floor. Minister for Local Government, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, what I do?
Honorable Ahmed Banda, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Oh, Mr. Speaker, at least.
Won't you sit down? Hey, won't you sit down?
Wait.
Sit down. My friend, sit down.
It's okay.
Honorable John Dako, I recognize Honorable Banda, but not you.
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
Banda, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with respect.
Honorable Asafoje, will you resume your seat?
Mr. Speaker, with respect, it is the responsibility of the leadership of the House, including we, the former leaders, Mr. Speaker, to support you to bring order in the House. Mr. Speaker, Parliament is a very serious house, governed by rules and procedure. Mr. Speaker, today, from Cabinet, most of we, the Cabinet ministers, after sitting in Cabinet, Honorable Aaron Edrisu, Honorable Mutaka, Mangul Self, and other colleagues moved to this house. Mr. Speaker, because of sitting in Parliament, we close at 2. Mr. Speaker, we've come to debate just business statement for 2 hours. Mr. Speaker, and the accusation is that Mr. Speaker, the accusation is that members on this side were not present. Mr. Speaker, we have 87 members on the minority. As I speak to you, you have only 25. Mr. Speaker, how can we come and sit here? 25 of you, when we have 110 members on the majority side. Mr. Speaker, For you to let us use 2 hours in debating business table when you know the correct thing to do.
Just wait.
Mr. Speaker, for the records and for the standing orders, we were on that side.
Hey, Master, will you sit down?
No, Mr. Speaker, we were on that side. But it's okay.
No. That gentleman over there.
It is not beyond us to know what to do. As former leaders and current leaders, Mr. Speaker, we know what to do. Mr. Speaker, do you remember what is happening today has ever happened in this chamber? How did we resolve it? They should know what to do. Mr. Speaker, you are the speaker so long as this house is concerned. Business statement has been presented. It is within your jurisdiction and authority to give your command. Business statement is adopted subject to the recommendations. Then we move on. Mr. Speaker, currently there is no motion before you. And when there is no motion before you, we cannot debate a motion that has not been moved. They should know what to do. Mr. Speaker, you know, when media reviews were reduced to statements, we stopped voting on them. So if you don't know what to do, you've not done it, you can't hold that to record. Mr. Speaker, I'm a minister responsible for local government, chieftaincy, and religious affairs. From 2 o'clock, I'm sitting here, debating business sector. On that note, Mr. Speaker, so long as there's no motion before you, just move forward. Let's adopt the report.
Honorable Asafoye, if your leaders are asking you to sit down, please resume your seat. Why? At least if your whips are asking you to resume your seat, resume your seat. If you won't listen to me, listen to your whips. Honorable Roxanne Dapamako, let me hear you, but be brief.
Speaker, I'll be very brief. Speaker, within the terms of Order 122, the minority leader put out some figures regarding my membership on the floor. Speaker, please. Membership.
Honorable members, if things continue this way, I will not hesitate to invoke the rules by calling on you to either walk out. If you refuse, I would invite the marshal to walk you out. This is the House of Parliament. It must not be so disorderly. The disorderly conduct is becoming too much. We are honorable members. Yes, Honorable Habib. No, you haven't finished. Honorable Roxanne is on the floor.
Off that mic. Speaker, thank you very much. Speaker, I'll be very brief. One, our standing orders defines terms of art. and this is contained in order 6 of our standing orders. Business statement is not defined. So the position by the minority leader that business statement is defined, it constitutes a motion, is inaccurate. Is not defined. He made the point that our standing orders defines a business statement. It's not been defined. So that is for the records. Two, Mr. Speaker, the minority leader has put out some figures regarding our membership on the floor. Speaker, our membership is over 142 on this floor. Speaker, they are 26. They are 26. We are 142. So, Mr. Speaker, it is a Friday political strategy to put it out in the media that my majority members were 82, so that the media will take it out, and for the whole weekend will be bastardized. We are on this floor. We are, oh please. So let the records reflect that we are 142. A count can be conducted. You are 25. You are 25. You are 25. So, Mr. Speaker, we have the number.
Honorable member, if you want to know the actual number in the House, as Speaker, I know how to do. I'll call on the clerk to do the counting.
Mr. Speaker, so I will not allow your number 82 to stand. So the media, we don't want anybody to go and report that the majority members were 82. We are 122.
Honourable members, we have spent so much time on the business statement. To everything, there must be an end. So I'm pleading with you. Let's conclude issues on the business statement.
Okay.
And then we can make progress.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I won't say much except that I have a pending application, but I want to draw your attention also to our standing order 24 A, B, C, and D. And Mr. Speaker, standing order 24 A says that the Speaker shall uphold the honor, dignity, sanctity of the House. B, promote consensus on matters under consideration in the House. And then C, be impartial, fair, and firm in matters. And Mr. Speaker, I want to invite you to abide by this. You have steered the affairs. You have steered the affairs of the House so far very well. And I invite you that I have raised issue and the 1992 Constitution and Article 104 that matters to be determined in this House must be at least half of our members, which is 138. Mr. Speaker, I want to end and submit humbly that you know what to do as you indicated. The number I put previously when I made the application was 77. I still stand by it. If the clerk or you direct it otherwise, and there's a different number, I will respect your decision.
Honorable members,
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Sometimes we know the procedure, but deliberately we want to put out the wrong impression. We have two types of a quorum. We have a quorum for commencement and a quorum for decision. Now, anytime the attention of the Speaker is drawn to the absence of a quorum, Speaker takes advice from the clerk. If we do not have the quorum, we ring the bell for 10 minutes and then the other consequential procedures follow. So when you make the application, in fairness, I told you your application is premature. I also indicated to you that by your submission in this House today, you have been in this House for 5 years, which we agreed to, and for all those 5 years you've been in leadership. Advise the Speaker on a single instance where a business statement is adopted by a vote. Honourable members, when you know the truth, let's go by it. when the truth is known, let's just go by it. Let us not set a bad precedent. To quote the minority leader, whether it is 20 years or 30 years, the table may turn. I always take that aspect of his statement very seriously. So today, don't consider where you are sitting today and say business statement should be adopted by way of a vote. Honourable members, the truth is only one. There are seniors in this house who attest to the fact, a bare fact, that we don't adopt a business statement by way of a vote. So, honourable members, let's help issues. Where there is no problem, let us not create one. So the ruling is that business statements are not adopted by way of vote. On this note, the business statement as presented is hereby adopted. Honourable members, before we proceed, let me indicate that on the issue raised by minority leader, he is calling on me not to make a ruling, and I intend not to make ruling. However, Mr. Speaker or the Speaker would be here to make comment on the issue. But I would want to state clearly, by way of advice to all of us, that when a procedure is set down for a right to be exercised, it is that procedure that will have to be followed in exercising the rights. Honourable members, when motions are filed, the motion is supposed to be admitted. It must pass the admissibility test. After the motion is admitted, it is programmed on the order paper. Until and unless that motion is programmed on the order paper, it cannot be debated. So, honourable members, we can't pass through the back door to do what is yet to be admitted. This is not a ruling, but is by way of advice to all of us, that a procedure is there to guide all of us. On that note, I'll defer any further comment to the Speaker. Majority Leader, let me announce the presence of students from American Cooperative School. They are led by Achampong Edward, headmaster, and they are from Efiduasi, Asokore. They numbered 117. Honourable members, on your behalf, I welcome them. May you have a fruitful stay in Parliament of Republic of Ghana. Yes, Majority Leader. Yes, Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I crave your indulgence so that we can vary the order of business and then do some small public business. We have spent 3 hours already, 3 hours that should have been meant for private business. We have spent it debating a statement. So let's do some small private business. Public business. So, Mr. Speaker, permit me to invite you to vary the order of business so that the Minister for Education can lay item 10A. Item 10A.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have a day difficulty. It can be laid.
See, the people are going again.
Mr. Speaker, issues concerning the Education Minister normally And now there are people are now leaving the chamber after being whipped to come and vote on business statement. They are disappointed. So they are leaving the chamber. But the education minister can lay the paper.
Honourable members, at commencement of public business, item numbered 9, presentation of papers. Or is rather item numbered 10A, presentation and first reading of bills.
An act to establish the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the bill has been duly presented and it is referred to the Committee on Education. Yes, I am inclined to add the leadership of Constitutional Legal to help the Education Committee to consider this.
Mr. Speaker, again I seek your indulgence so that we can vary the order of business and take some 2 clauses, just 2 clauses of the Ghana Scholarships Authority Bill. Just 2 clauses, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just 2 clauses. Mr. Speaker, the agreement at conclave was that the Minister for Energy is unavoidably absent, and so we may not take his questions. That was the agreement at conclave. So, Speaker is a witness to that agreement. That was the agreement at conclave. So, in the absence of the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, I'm urging that we take the consideration stage of the Ghana Scholarships Authority Bill.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I think we can go ahead with that, considering the fact that the majority leader have changed his tone from the time he was presenting the business, so we can go ahead.
Thank you very much, honourable members. Ghana Scholarships Authority Bill 2025 at consideration stage. He has instructed. Honourable members, going by the order paper, we have clause 3. So I'll call on the chairman of the committee to move the proposed amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, amendment proposed. Paragraph I, delete and insert the following.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, we're just told that we should comply with our rules. Where is the chair of the committee? Mr. Speaker, we need to know where the chair of the committee is.
Yes, Majority Leader. Majority Leader, they are asking of the absence of yes.
Oh no, but you can respond.
Mr. Speaker, we note that the chairman of the Committee on Education is on official duties outside of the jurisdiction. And therefore, by our rules, a member of the committee may be permitted to lead the discussions on behalf of the committee. Mr. Speaker, we plead that you permit a member, the Honorable Edem Agbana, member for Ketu North, is a member of the committee. He is able and capable of leading the, and we did that yesterday, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honourable members, as indicated, the Speaker is here to take the chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think we won't have any difficulty with honourable
members. I also indicated that he has his comment on the issue raised by the minority leader. So, honourable members will have to defer the consideration of the Ghana Scholarships Authority Bill 2025.
Give me this one. Honourable members, I patiently observed and listened to you, spent considerable time debating a report of the Business Committee. I had so many things to do, but I was compelled to leave that and to come to clarify some issues, particularly what led to the long discussion was I thought it was not necessary at all. We will not suspend the consideration of the bill. After my submissions, we'll go on with the consideration of the bill. But let me see. Honourable members, yesterday, I returned a proposed motion paper submitted by the minority leader, Honourable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, to the clerk in accordance with Order 1023, which according to the order is to be submitted to me as stated in Order 1024 as being inadmissible. As required by Order 1024 of the Standing Orders, I provided reasons on the face of the proposed motion paper for my refusal to admit the motion. I've this afternoon been compelled by what has gone on in the course of your attempt to adopt the report of the Business Committee, and I'm to provide my reasons to plenary
as part of my efforts to ensure full disclosure. This, as you all know, is an administrative function. It's not something that should be done on the floor of the House. But the way the deliberations has gone on, it has left not only members, but our constituents a bit unclear about how we conduct things in the House. So this is an attempt to clarify the issue and to bring finality to the matter raised by the minority leader. Honourable members, the Clerk to Parliament received the proposed motion on the 28th of October 2025. As I said, it's a proposed motion. And so it's couched in the form of a motion by the minority leader, as required by the standing orders. It was forwarded to my office the same day. That's the 28th of October 2025. My office at the Secretariat received it, and it was later transmitted to me. It was now my duty to administratively consider the admissibility or otherwise of the motion. In considering the admissibility of the motion, I was guided by the provisions of the 1992 Constitution, the standing orders of the House, and precedents of parliamentary practice. Honourable members, a motion as defined in Order 6 of the standing orders of this House is a proposal made by a member of Parliament or a committee to do something or order something to be done or express an opinion concerning some matter. Orders 102 and 103 vest discretionary powers in the Speaker to determine whether a motion is admissible or not. In exercising this power, the Speaker must be guided by provisions as stated in Order 103 of the Standing Orders to either direct that the motion be printed or the motion is to be returned as inadmissible. Honourable members, I have considered deeply the proposed motion. I considered the text, and I concluded that there was no basis for me to exercise the discretion to admit the motion. I have a copy of the proposed motion here. The motion, in summary, suggests that Parliament, as an arm of state, should stay its hand until another cognate arm of state takes action on a matter pending before it, even when there is no definite time for that arm of state to take the action. I find this suggestion constitutionally and procedurally unsustainable. Article 144, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution gives Parliament a clear and continuing duty to consider a president nomination for Chief Justice. That duty is not conditional on events elsewhere. There is no constitutional or standing order basis for Parliament to hold the process simply because there are pending cases in court. Should I accept that argument, it will mean that any litigant could hold Parliament hostage, that is, file a case and freeze the work of Parliament and its committees. That would undermine the concept of separation of powers and paralyze the constitutional machinery for filling, for example, in this particular case, key offices of state. Honorable members, I'm very mindful of Article 2 of the 1992 Constitution, especially Clause 2 of Article 2, which vests the Supreme Court powers to make orders and give such directions as it may consider appropriate for giving effect or enabling effect to be given to the declarations it has made. This article clearly states that should there be any unconstitutionality regarding the removal of her ladyship, Justice Tornonoo, the court is vested with the power to so declare and make all necessary orders needed to restore the status quo. To that end, I'm of the view that courts can continue to hear whatever matters are pending before them, but until there is an injunctive order, Parliament's authority remains intact. Judicial independence should not mean legislative paralysis. In any case, I have consistently questioned whether the Supreme Court could use its injunctive reliefs to stultify the work of another arm of state. Is that the purpose of that relief? Honorable members, procedurally, I'm also mindful of Order 103 Rule F, which suggests that a motion shall not be a subject matter of an action in which a judicial decision is pending in such a way as may, in the opinion of the Speaker, prejudice the interests of the parties in the action. I have considered the provisions on admissibility of motion, and I submit that the proposed motion is out of order. As I have already indicated, I am convinced that the Supreme Court is vested with adequate powers to reverse any action should they deem them unconstitutional. This matter I have discussed with the minority leader who was bent on the motion being admitted. It's not that I'm just saying them now. But he gave me notice that he will definitely air his views on the floor. And I think that is why, as the majority leader said, even though you were discussing football, he brought in Ampe. In summary, honorable members, the major points of this ruling is that the motion is in inadmissible. And same has been returned to the sponsor, the minority leader, Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin, as stated clearly by outstanding orders. I thank you all for your attention. Honorable members, Minority Leader, you want to have another bite?
Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I would want, with your leave, to respond to a matter because of Hansard. Mr. Speaker, we have reputational issues here. There are matters that perhaps you may not be in the know. And for the sake of tomorrow, I believe that I must not be denied the opportunity to make this point known for Hansard, because points have been made by you, added to your ruling, and it has gone into Hansard. Mr. Speaker, with respect, as you rightly stated, we filed this motion on the set date. We were very vigilant enough. We followed it to the clerk's office and ensured that same had been transmitted. Mr. Speaker, days passed. The clerk communicated to me that my motion cannot be traced. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I followed up again because I know that he who comes to equity must do equity and must be vigilant. Equity has never favored the indolent. So I didn't want to sleep on my right. I followed up again at conclave and I asked the clerk to Parliament, has my motion had any decision so that the caucus can know what step to take in accordance with our rules? He then told me, Mr. Speaker, that you've asked him to now procure a copy of the motion from me because what was submitted could not be found. Mr. Speaker, this is truth and it's indivisible. I then procured my copy because I kept a copy in my file. Then he later said he's sent for his copy because he also kept a copy. I didn't allow him alone to come. I walked with him all the way to your office to make sure that the copy had been duly submitted, which you duly received. Mr. Speaker, I did not receive any communication until 3, the time is here. And sometimes people would want to do things, and if you are not careful, you lose your reputation. Mr. Speaker, with respect, it is here. Mr. Speaker, the time is 16:32. 16:32. When that is 4:32, after we had raised the matter, it was now sent. Your minutes was sent to me via WhatsApp. Mr. Speaker, I am a student of this house. I won't do anything to embarrass myself. If I'm not sure, I won't do it. And I will not seek to embarrass you or embarrass my caucus. I don't want Hansard to record me as having acted in bad faith. Mr. Speaker, we filed this notice long ago. There is vetting on Monday. Vetting on Monday. We don't sit on Monday. What other time would we have as a caucus to air our views? Even now, your response has not been officially been communicated to us. We don't have it. Mr. Speaker, I will speak the truth on this matter, and I wouldn't want any impression to be created that I did something wrong. We don't have it. It is now that you have, Mr. Speaker, with respect, read out in public your reasoning. We will pick it. What time again do we have to file another process to air our views? But Mr. Speaker, this is Parliament. We will respect it. Mr. Speaker, We even attached our written submission. That was how transparent we were. We didn't just send a lame application. We attached a written submission with all the authorities, including the latest authority in this house, where the majority leader argued that Nana Boachi's process at the Supreme Court, which process was seeking some declaratory reliefs, should stop this house. And Mr. Speaker, the first Deputy Speaker, ruled in his favor, upholding his application. You may recall, Mr. Speaker, that I came to you with an appeal, and you admitted my appeal, and a motion for review was filed. Mr. Speaker, the motion for review is still here. This is the motion for review. It is in today's motion paper, order paper, motion 15. That pursuant to order 127 of the standing orders.
Just a minute.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, if you want to come
in.
Normally, he can have his right to speak after me. Mr. Speaker, at this point of order, I don't have a problem.
What's the help?
Mr. Speaker, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. He can speak.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Yeah,
Just
Mr.
a
Speaker.
minute.
Mr. Speaker.
Just a minute. Minority Leader, I've given you all the space to speak because you raise an issue of it. There's some matters I raised which may affect your integrity. That's why I gave you the space. Now, you stated something which ignited the immediate reaction of the Majority Leader and stood on his feet. I signaled him that he should allow you to land. But it seems the issue he wants to raise is so critical, he was drawing my attention. No, let me do it. So I just wanted you to hold your breath for him to do so and let me rule. Please. Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. He filed a motion. You took a decision on the motion. You transmitted the decision to him. Whether it is hard copy or electronically, he has admitted that he has received your communication. You followed through and came to this house and communicated the decision. When he said you should give him permission to say some things because it had to do with integrity and credibility, we indulged him. Even my chief whip urged me to object. I said no. He's raising administrative issues. So let us have that clarification. But he's now going beyond that and litigating your decision. He is litigating your decision. He is arguing points of law in relation to your decision. He knows what our rules say. If you want to challenge the decision of the Speaker, you know how to do so. So please, you know the right thing. You may not be happy with the outcome, but this is not the procedure. You've raised the administrative issues. I think you've exhausted those ones. You have no right immediately to start arguing against the substance of the ruling of the Speaker. That will not be allowed.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Speaker, with respect, the beauty of our engagement here is the opportunity, unfettered, as the rules will permit, to air our views. So I respect what the Majority Leader said. However, I submit that he misunderstood the point I was making. Mr. Speaker, clearly I was on the point where I was drawing attention to the fact that at all material times where dissatisfied, I had followed due process, including the very subject matter of your ruling. Mr. Speaker, he had objected on same ground that a matter was before court, and the first deputy speaker had ruled in his favor. When I was dissatisfied, I filed an appeal before you, which you admitted, and that appeal has been pending since 5th of March. It is listed in today's order paper as motion 15, and quote, that pursuant to order 127 of the standing orders, the Right Honorable Speaker reviews the ruling of the first deputy speaker on the 5th of March, sustaining the preliminary objection raised by the majority leader, Mr. Mahama Yerga, against moving the private member's motion listed as item 16 on page 6 of the order paper of Wednesday, the 5th of March. Mr. Speaker, perhaps if the space had permitted for us to determine this review application, maybe the approach...
Honorable Minority Leader, you are now going far beyond bounds. You know the tools of filibustering.
Mr. Speaker, no.
And the tool of playing to the gallery. I think this is what you are now employing. And I want to stop you at that. I don't want to go beyond that. But clearly, I allowed this to happen because you took responsibility for the motion and you personally came to me. But on the face of the motion, the sponsors of the motion are Honorable Anyumedu Entry, MP for Ashanti Achim Central, Honorable John Darko, MP for Swami, Honorable Gloria Owusu, MP for Trobo, Honorable Damata Salam Amma Apieni, again, the motion that came to me is a motion paper with no attachment of any submissions. Please, these are administrative matters, and I'm not to bring them to the House. But because you brought the matter to the fore in plenary session, I'm compelled to do so. Let's end it here, because you can always trace and trail submissions of documents through the administrative processes. There is no document that is received by my office that is not noted in the records of the Secretariat, and copies of the document kept in the Secretariat. We have all. So there's no way that a motion paper will pass through my Secretariat, come to me in a minute, and then it cannot be traced. It's not done, because we have copies there, and even the minutes that are put on the paper are also captured in the records of my Secretariat. So if members are not aware, you can easily trace these records. Nobody can tell you that they can't trace the records. They are available. And by my training, I keep records. I know one day when I'm not here, some people may raise some issues. And all of you holding responsibilities, you must be prepared to answer. Whether in 10 years or 20 years, allegation can be made against you. You need to defend yourself. You need to have records. Don't just lead them and go, and when you are called upon, you are found wanting because you are naked. So I have all this. Let's move on to the motion that was referred to earlier on for us to continue with the consideration of the bill. Please. Honorable members, we go to page 7, item 17 of the order paper.